Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about one of my favorite spells, Sickening Radiance. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. All right. Sickening Radiance is a 4th level spell that is usable by sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards, but not bards and not artificers. So 3 of the base full caster, arcane casters, missing the bard. It's 1 action spell. It has a range of 120 feet, which is massive, with a 30-foot radius, which is massive. Verbal somatic components, which is good. It lasts for 10 minutes with concentration. And yes, you want to concentrate on this as long as you possibly can. It is an evocation spell, which means that if you are an evoker wizard, you can exempt some folks from the spell. But we're going to look at that because there is a little caveat to that. So, it is a con save, and that is the only reason why I'm not giving this spell a straight up A. Con saves are sometimes not easy to deal with. If this were like a wisdom or a charisma or intelligence save, which this makes sense to be a con save because it's radiation essentially, then, you know, I would give it a better thing because those are a lot easier to impose upon your enemies. So, dim greenish light spreads within a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. The light spreads around corners and lasts until the spell ends. When a creature moves into the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, that creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and emit a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius. So there's no half damage on this one. That's another reason why I'm not giving it a straight up A, because there is no half damage. But the light, that is, if they fail their save and they emit this greenish light, that light makes it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible. Should say that light, not this light. The light and any levels of exhaustion caused by this spell go away when the spell ends. And we're going to talk a little bit about exhaustion as well. So, you cast this spell, and it doesn't do anything at first to anything that's in it. When they start their turn, that's when they have to make their save. If they happen to get pushed back into it, then they're making a save when they go into it. And then at the beginning of their turn, they have to make another save. So you want to cast the spell in such a way that it's going to be strategically placed and that it's going to maximize the chances that they will have to make a bunch of different saves and then they eventually fail. If they fail more than one, we're going to point something out here. So we're going to point this out in the wizard. We're going to go here, not necessarily going here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the player's handbook, and we're going to talk about conditions, and we're going to talk about exhaustion. So Sickening Radius gives 1 level of exhaustion, which doesn't go away until the spell ends. Okay? So pay attention to that. If an already exhausted creature suffers another effect that causes exhaustion, its current level of exhaustion increases by the amount specified in the effect's description. So, a creature suffers the effect of the current level of exhaustion as well as lower levels. So, if a creature gets pushed into here and fails its saving throw, it takes damage, and it suffers 1 level of exhaustion. There it is right there. And it emits a green light. And then let's say it starts its turn, and it fails the saving throw again, it gets another level of exhaustion because they compound. So it goes from disadvantage to half speed. And at that point, it's got 2 levels. If it gets another one, it has disadvantage on all attack rolls. So you could technically kill something if it fails 6 saving throws with this one. And like I said, you want to strategically place this spell, and you want to have a way of pushing creatures into it such that every time they enter, they got to make a saving throw, and then they do another one at the beginning of their turn, and then they might leave during their turn, and then the next round after them, somebody pushes them back in, and it starts all over again. You also want to maximize your chances of making something fail a saving throw, and we're going to talk about that too. So, movement, force movement is a really important thing. Here's my video on force movement in D&D. Long time ago, made that 10 months ago. Check that out. I also have a link here to the Shockwave build. I made that one 9 months ago. That's a fighter type class that can move stuff. Warlocks Warlock is a class that can use this spell. Warlocks have Repelling Blast. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line. At the level that you can cast Sickening Radiance, you get 2 Eldritch Blasts, which means you could push something 20 feet. So let's go back, and we're going to go to the Wizard. So it's an evocation spell, so let's talk about that. You have the Sculpt spell. When you cast an evocation spell that affects other creatures you can see, you choose a number equal to 1 plus the spell level, which is 5. The chosen creature automatically succeeds on their saving throw, so they won't take anything. There really isn't a caveat to that. They succeed on their save and nothing happens, so they are exempt from the gamma radiation that you just unleashed. Now, I do want to touch on this Bard a bit, because Bards get this thing called Magical Secrets at 10th level. Okay? And you have plunged Magical Knowledge. Choose 2 spells from any classes, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast, as shown on the Bard table, which you can cast 4th level spells. And they count as Bard spells. And if you happen to be a College of Eloquence, you can Unsettling Words that thing and cause it to take a penalty to this saving throw. In addition, there is the Divination Wizard, who has Portent, who, if they roll a low 20, can cause something to take a penalty to this saving throw. Again, talk with your group and say, I got this spell. Who has ways of either making things fail saving throws, or who has ways of pushing things back in. I neglect to mention the Artificer. The Artillerist Artificer can push with the cannon as well, with the Force Cannon. So, then talk amongst yourselves about it, and then you can come up with a Wolverine Colossus type of fastball special combo, and you can totally trap something in this and cause it to take a bunch of damage and to get levels of exhaustion to the point where it's just stuck in it. All right, and it won't turn invisible, of course, that too. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.